Hey ho, internet. You may notice the camera's pulled back a little bit because we got a spinner box. Big box. So I know one of the things that's in here, just because I know old Max has been working on it for a while trying to get this to us. It was on the slow boat from China, I believe. So he's got something in here for us. That's nice. Nice addition to the spinner box. Bum bum bum. Look at that. Oh, we got it upside down. Let's flip it around, shall we? Spinner box. All right. Another bag. Do we need that? Yeah, maybe throw it over there somewhere. We got ourselves a spinner box. Sorry, let's get this. Oops. Get that out of the way here. So let's see what we got. Look at that. Stuff's dropping all over the room here. Get rid of that too. So let's see what we got. So we got a nice little carrying case. I know we've been waiting for this for a while, so it's nice to see. It's got a nice stealth logo on there. So sometimes I'm not crazy about logos all over the place, but especially with spinners, right? I'm gonna grab my Pelican case, right? We throw stickers all over those guys. At least I like throwing stickers on mine. Suggest you have yours the same way. So yeah, pretty solid. Nowhere near as solid as a Pelican case, but honestly a Pelican case is probably overkill. So let's flip this guy open. Ooh. Oh, what do we got in there? All right. So we got a nice little carrying case. I think this is empty by the looks of things. Yeah, but that's a nice little carrying case. I'm gonna have to remember to bring stuff up here so you can see it. It's awkward for me to hold it if you could see how I'm sitting. Looks kind of silly. More army men. We'll set him over here. Ooh. I've seen people with these buttons, and I gotta be honest, I was kind of looking forward to a set of those. So they're pretty big buttons too. I can't find my calipers, sadly, but I do have this with me. So button wise across the hex, we're looking at 23, and then across the middle at the widest point there, almost 25. So pretty wide buttons. Pretty big buttons. Let's get them open. I don't know what's in here. Should we eat the Sour Patch Kid? I feel like you guys don't want to hear me chewing on stuff. But they're just too good. Ow. Yeah, we're eating them. We're eating them. It's my channel. I'll do what I want. All right, what do you think's in here? Oh yeah, and it is plucking what we often refer to, at least in the miniature wargaming hobby, pick and pluck foam. So you can see there's these little grooves, and you just tear that stuff out. You just tear it out, and out it comes. And then a little felt piece underneath, so that, again, this is kind of all the way through. I'm gonna have to plan this guy out. So, but this is nice. I was thinking of getting another Pelican case anyway, because I'd like to have one case for bars, one case for tries, and then whatever doesn't fit in those two cases goes on down the road. Keep my collection legit while not going too crazy. And then sell some stuff for my channel. So let's keep this out here because we like that. So nice case, good deal. Woo! I was hoping this was going to be in there. Sold Max. Max is a good guy. Max pays attention to what's going on and keeps you hooked up. I'm sure it's no accident that I get the stainless steel when I bought the brass separately. Oh, I don't know if I've got my... I don't think I've got my brass one anywhere nearby to really kind of compare and contrast, and I don't remember exactly what it weighs, but let's weigh it. Can you see that scale? You can see it really well. So 52.8, 53 grams, really good weight. You know what we do have though? We've got the old Grave Raven here. Right. So just for comparison's sake. So again, pretty small little spinner, but I'm telling you, man, I love me some of this chunk. So I'm glad I got the stainless steel one and they can get the two to contrast. So I think what I'm probably gonna want to do with this, I'm gonna be real honest with you, I'm probably gonna polish this up and then try my hand at a little flame treatment, heating it up. So nice, really happy with this month's spinner box. And I knew that this was coming in. I've been chatting with Max, so I knew he wanted to do this, and he's made it no secret that this was coming this month. So but I didn't know the buttons were going to be in there, and to be honest, the more you get into the spinner game, the more you kind of eventually need to get more buttons. So, although sad news, I don't know if these are going to work on here. Yeah, so they're just too wide and they rub on the side, but that's okay. They'd honestly be too big on something like this probably anyway, so. Let's find something we can throw those buttons on, huh? What can we throw those buttons on? Let's talk about this one just for a minute, because I'm pretty familiar with the other model. So on the stainless steel one, you know, I kind of like the color of the electroplated gunmetal brass one that they got going on. They got something really neat going on, but that clear coat kind of gives it a different feel. These, you know, this is just stainless steel with no coating or anything like that, and it's got a really nice feel. I'm gonna have to go head to head with these, I think, and see which one I like, but I think it might be the stainless steel one, to be honest. So I think I saw a bunch of people that got the brass one, or got the stainless steel one, and then saw my review of the brass and kind of wish they had that, or I think even one person in particular ordered the stainless steel, ended up with, or was it, I don't remember which way it was, but they're both really good, but I think it might be, this one. I tell you what, once I customize it, I almost always prefer them once I customize them, so. So really, honestly, if you want to know more about this guy, just watch my review of the chunk. Nice thing about the chunk as well, let's just double check here. Yeah, coming with those super stealth bearings, some of my favorite bearings. So you really can't go wrong if you're getting bearings from Fidget HQ, Stealth, or Flavor Zone. And it's just whoever you want to support, to be honest. So whoever you like the most, they're all good people. So most of the time, I do work with my man Heck over at Flavor Zone Essentials, and looking forward to trying some of his hybrid ceramic bearings, which I haven't played around with yet. Yeah, whoever you go with, whoever you're happy with, you won't go wrong. So one thing I didn't get to show, let's see if I can show this here a little bit. This has a really cool spinning profile. So in person, in my last video, I did it in the sun, so you really saw, you know, the warping. But because of this, and I didn't really talk too much about some of the other designs I realized after I was watching it, but it's got this really nice flat here that kind of gives kind of a nice little grip and a nice little spin character. So since it rounds flats and then it kind of rounds back in, like see if we get the light reflecting, you can see it gets flat and then rounds in there, right? You get this really cool, subtle, little smooth dish effect. It's nice. It's got a cool spin profile in person. So, and again, not a lot of that bar wobble. You know, if you don't like bars, this is kind of like, I think I referred to my Grave Raven as like a gateway bar. Same thing with this. If you don't like bars, you can start to get a feel for it and a hang for it, like with something like this. And this break gets you in real gently. Not too much bar wobble, small enough and light enough to flick real easy enough to get your hands on. So really just cementing the fact that I think, for me, right, again, spinners are very subjective, very personal items. So everybody's going to be different, but for me, just cementing the fact that this is the #1 stealth spinner. Again, despite my tendency to enjoy large spinners and heavy spinners, when a smaller spinner like this is done right. So, and I'll be honest, I'm gonna call you out, Max. I think there is some room for a larger version of this as well, like you're doing with the Mini Max. Or the Mighty Max and the Micro Max, that little quad. I think there is something along the lines of a Valkyrie style, you know, size. Maybe not quite that large, but I think there's room for a larger one in there as well. So I don't know how easy and hard it is and difficult to set up. So I'm not really calling you out. I just think there is room for something like that. But again, this size is beautiful. It's one of the things I loved about the Grave Raven, and I think there not necessarily was confusion, but when I talked about saying, you know, kind of comparing this to the Grave Raven, I think a lot of people thought that was, I don't know about silly, but especially after having the stainless steel one, which I did sell very quickly, this feels very similar to the stainless steel Grave Raven. So despite there are some differences, both aesthetically, design, and feel, there's also something really close and very similar and very familiar with this. So anyway, we can keep talking about the chunk. Let's try these buttons on something. What can we try them on? We got that's nearby. Let's try them on, what are they going to fit on? That's appropriate. Let's throw them on this, because we really like this guy, and we're talking about stealth spinners today. So I stand by the fact that this is my favorite Aventador as well, the hardcore one. So I don't know if I actually put that out there officially, but one of the things I liked about the XL buttons on this one is it just gives you a little more grip. And these buttons, I find I can get a lot of grip on these because of how narrow my fingers are. But I find with the bigger, heavier spinners, oh, that feels nice. Look at that. That can't be an accident that's like, sorry if I get that lined up nearly 1-to-1. And they line up pretty close to being lined up. off just a tiny bit, but sorry, let's keep that in frame. Again, my camera's set way high, guys. So this is nice, big, deep dish, deep dish. So you can get 2 fingers on it really well. And I kind of like that 2-finger spin, right? It was one of the things I keep saying about why I love those Hydra buttons, right? Because they're really big and wide and chunky and kind of gives you, it's a really satisfying thing to grab a hold of. It's also because they're so thick. So it's also like this thickness that's really cool with these buttons. But it's really wide, so you can get 2 fingers. It's pretty satisfying. Realize I gotta cut my nails too. Sorry, y'all. But you can do that sort of thing here. Where again, I find it's a little weird to have 2 fingers and then get a good flick and keep those fingers there, but doing a really good preloaded flick and then getting the fingers on there feels nice. So the buttons are good, and they're like engraved. You know, that's not like a laser, like that's actually machined or engraved out. So once again, Stealth is just going crazy with, you know, they put in the extra effort for some of the subtle things, right? They do a lot of, you know, especially with like an Aventador, right? All this extra machining and stuff going on, you know, adds to the production cost. But again, they want to get it to you as cheap as they can, but they also don't want to half-ass it, right? They really want to put a quality product out there, so we appreciate that. So that's what I think is really great about this, is it's simple, it's got some, you know, extra work going on into it, but they can keep some of the machining costs down, and again, they pass it right on to you, and it's just a great design. I think that's part of why I like this guy so much. It seems like such a great value spinner. So right up there value-wise, I would consider with the Focus, in terms of, you know, for like I think the stainless steel is $40, and on pre-order $35, and then again, you can almost always find a discount code on their website, so, or if you were paying attention in this video. But yeah, I like these buttons, especially on this guy. I mean, they seem like they just make sense. So, oops, sorry. I'm gonna have to play around and see what other spinners I like these buttons on, but I'm a fan. I appreciate it. So, spinner box. Hobby Timmy is gonna give it the thumbs up this month. So, it's nice, and it's nice to see something again a little different, something for the enthusiasts, something that we're all gonna need. And again, even if you've got one, it's nice to have one, another one, and 2. I dig the logo on there. So, was the logo on both sides? I don't think it was. I don't think we checked. No. But then, plenty of sticker space here, right? Like sticker canvas. Maybe we could even paint that up. Who knows? And again, it's not too heavy. It's not overkill, right? So it's not like anywhere near the quality of a Pelican in terms of like that sort of heavy-duty, bulletproof, run it over with a truck, waterproof kind of thing. But again, that's sort of overkill. So I think for most people, this is going to be the way to go. So if that keeps coming out, I will probably throw just run a little bit of craft glue, Elmer's glue, something like that, and just stick that down. That won't be a problem if that comes out. It seems like there's a little bit of a vacuum situation going on where that falls out, but that's easily fixed, right? We're not afraid of getting our hands dirty, and I wouldn't even call that getting our hands dirty around here, so. Boom. Make sure they're tight. Woohoo! All right, everybody. That's the spinner box. Kisses.